Basketball is all about timing. A perfectly timed pass, a perfectly timed shot, even a perfectly timed defensive stop can change everything. But sometimes the timing couldn't be worse. From fans who looked away at the exact wrong moment, to coaches calling a timeout when they shouldn't have, to broadcasts cutting away right as history is being made. These are moments of truly bad timing in the NBA.
Does it have anything to do with Kobe Bryant? No, and it was filmed 6 months ago.
I don't know about you guys, but whenever something crazy happens in a game, I always replay it several times just to see everybody's reaction, which is exactly what I did when it came to this.
And I'm not sure what they were looking at. Outlet pass grabbed by Oh, Shaedon Sharpe cocked it back. A vicious right-hand hammer.
This was literally considered dunk of the year by the NBA themselves, so I'm pretty sure whoever went to that game and was able to see it live got their money's worth. Well, except for this guy, who unfortunately just so happened to be on his phone when it happened. Now, I'm sure he wasn't the only one not paying attention at that specific moment, but the rest are probably Wizards fans, given the fact that they were in DC. Missing this dunk as it happened had to have been especially painful for him, given the fact that he's a Blazers fan. And I know this because the jersey he's wearing are these kind of Blazer jerseys. I would imagine that the Blazers were pretty much the only reason he even went to that game, to see them, but wound up missing one of the craziest dunks in recent history. I understand that putting down your phone for longer than 2 seconds can be extremely hard, just like I understand how it took a while for Shannon Sharpe to stop saying Skip's name on First Take.
Yes, because if you think about it, the Lions were picked to win that division, Skip. Skip, I'm sorry.
Okay, it's all right, it's all right.
Stephen A.
Hey, you know what, Skip? Skip, it's okay, it's okay.
He needs to stay his ass off social media, because here's the thing, Skip.
Steve,
Bang!
it's all right, it's okay, my man, it's all right.
I mean, he did work with Skip Bayless almost every day for 7 years, so I am willing to give him a pass. But blurting out his name right after saying this was pure gold.
Stephen A., I'll be honest with you. I think the best thing that someone can do for a guy like Draymond is to be in an older position and get him before he gets like this. It's harder to untrain a behavior than it is to learn a behavior.
Literally 30 seconds later,
And see him start to veer off this path and then be able to pull him aside and say, come on, Dre, we can win this thing, but we need you. And we can't have you get, because you see what happens is, I'm sorry, Stephen A. What happens is that you never accept anything in a win you wouldn't in a loss.
it's funny how he immediately went on to prove his own point within the same segment. I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen A. Smith was starting to get annoyed by Shannon constantly calling him Skip, just like how he was more than likely annoyed when his dream NBA Finals matchup had to take place in the bubble. Take a listen to what he said in December of 2019, a few months before the NBA season was suspended.
Let's go to number 1 on the list. You ready for this match? LA, Miami.
Oh my God.
Why? Because we're talking about my social life. That's why. We're talking about the palm trees, the sunshine. We're talking about LA, Miami, NBA Finals. I'm not saying it's going to happen, of course, but if we're talking about my wish list being sent to work, and for the month of June, I got to be stuck in Miami or LA, let's just say I'll get over that. I'll get over that.
One's a reach, but I'm with you.
You know, by the way, one is not out of the question.
Yeah,
I know how that
it's
sounds.
kind of out of the question.
They could make a move for another
Greek
big or
freak,
something.
because of the Greek freak.
We're going to be in Milwaukee,
Pat
guys.
Riley.
I'm sure Stephen A. was happy that he was right and Molly was wrong.
One's a reach, but I'm with you. We're going to be in Milwaukee, guys.
But unfortunately for Stephen A., they didn't get to go to LA or Miami either, due to the pandemic. He has expressed on numerous occasions that he's been dying for an NBA Finals between the Lakers or even the LA Clippers and the Miami Heat. And the reason is very simple: the weather. That was the main reason he even wanted that matchup. But when it finally became a reality, those cities were not able to host it. Stephen A. must have been furious, just like Colin Sexton and the Utah Jazz fans were when their coach called a timeout just as he scored what would have more than likely been the game-winning layup.
Rebound, Utah, 7 seconds left. Are they going to play it out? They are. With 4, with 3, with 2. Sexton, no, basket.
basket. No basket.
He called a timeout.
They called a timeout.
Why would he call a timeout?
With 1 second left, 1.6.
I mean,
Lakers will take it
every day of the week.
They had a chance to beat LeBron and the Lakers, which would have been a pretty big deal to them, but a bad coaching call cost them the game. Sometimes people think they're making the right decision in the moment, but it turns out they're wrong.
Knicks down 3. Should the Bulls foul? No. Anthony for 3. Bang! That one goes down, and the game is tied.
The Bulls ended up losing the game in overtime, so maybe they should have considered doing what Mike Breen suggested.
Should the Bulls foul? No. Anthony for 3. Bang!
Following the Miami Heat's dramatic Game 7 win over the San Antonio Spurs in the 2013 NBA Finals, ESPN was set to break it all down. Bill Simmons, one of the most outspoken analysts at the time, had the floor, and just as he was about to bring up the decision, the ESPN broadcast went dark.
Ray Allen could have had like, what, $6 million a year from the Clips, whatever? But he said, you look at LeBron and you just look at it, it's like a walking ring you're just staring at. But I wanted to say about the decision.
Well, we seem to have lost the signal from Miami. We're going to try to get that back. This is SportsCenter right here on ESPN.
Immediately, fans all thought the same thing. ESPN just censored Bill Simmons. Why? Because people believed he was about to say something negative about LeBron James, and ESPN wasn't going to let that happen on live TV. And the thing is, that theory wasn't exactly a stretch. You see, earlier in this series after Game 4, Simmons appeared on SportsCenter. He was blown away by Dwayne Wade's vintage performance. Simmons pointed out how drastically Wade had improved from Game 3 to Game 4. And then, in classic Simmons fashion, he joked that Wade must have gone to Germany before Game 4. This was a not-so-subtle reference to a controversial blood-spinning procedure in Germany, the same one Kobe Bryant had traveled overseas for. The implication was that maybe Wade's sudden resurgence wasn't completely natural, especially since he had been battling injuries throughout those playoffs. But here's where things got weird. On later re-airings of that same SportsCenter segment, Simmons' Germany comment was edited out, and he was not happy about it. So when the broadcast feed suddenly cut out right as Simmons was about to talk about the decision, it kind of made sense that fans assumed the worst, that ESPN panicked, that they didn't want to risk Bill Simmons saying something controversial about LeBron, that they wanted to nip it in the bud before they had to deal with editing it out later. But the truth? It really was just a technical difficulty. Simmons himself later clarified on his podcast that nothing shady went down. No censorship, no cover-up, just really bad timing.
Why did you bring up the decision?
I think the take was the decision ended up being the best thing for the NBA. All the stupid sports blogs went crazy thinking they cut me off.
So while conspiracy theories swirled, the reality was a lot simpler. Sometimes a blackout is just a blackout.
Well, we seem to have lost the signal from Miami. We're going to try to get that back.
But in the moment, with ESPN's history of silencing Simmons fresh in everyone's mind, you can see why fans thought otherwise. Now, while he was very forgiving towards ESPN, he was probably livid towards TNT when they cut away from his Celtics during a very special moment. Just before tip-off of the 2024-25 NBA season, the Celtics were in the process of raising their 18th championship banner to the rafters, but fans watching from home didn't get to witness the full ceremony. That's because TNT's broadcast cut to a commercial break mid-ascent.
I wanted to see the ceremony, and I wanted to see them raise the banner. That's really what I wanted to see. TNT had other ideas because this was the nation's view of the 2024 World Championship banner-raising ceremony in Boston. Like, what is that? What is that? Are you kidding me? Like, are you actually kidding me?
For Celtics fans, it felt like a slap in the face. Of course, the crowd inside TD Garden got to experience it, but thousands of other fans at home were left fuming, calling it flat out disrespectful. Now, not every household saw the exact same commercial, but no matter what ad interrupted the broadcast, every Celtics fan watching felt the exact same pain. Speaking of badly timed commercials, when DC Studios teamed up with Jason Tatum for a commercial promoting what was then the brand new Superman film, they thought they picked the perfect player to star in the ad. After all, he had just won the NBA championship the year before. It was supposed to be a marketing slam dunk, but what followed turned into one of the worst cases of bad timing you'll ever see. You see, commercials like this take months of planning. Every shot, every line, every release date, it's all carefully mapped out, and the idea was to strategically time its debut during the NBA playoffs, when eyes are glued to the screen. They ultimately decided to roll it out right before the Boston Celtics faced the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Superman is taking the day off. Who you think should sub in for Superman?
Who's got it like Superman?
Who could possibly match Superman's speed, strength, and ability to fly?
I want to talk about fly. How about Jason Tatum?
Do you guys see Tatum in Clark Kent mode?
Tatum is Clark Kent, humble, Midwestern, looks great in glasses. But can he step up and be Superman?
On paper, it was perfect, but in reality, it ended up being a disaster. The campaign aged horribly right out of the gate. The Celtics blew back-to-back 20-point leads at home to start the series, while Jason Tatum melted down in crunch time. In Game 1, he scored just 2 points in the fourth quarter, both from free throws, missing all 7 of his shot attempts in that final frame. In Game 2, things got even worse. Just 13 points on 15 for 19 shooting, including 1 of 5 from deep. And to make matters worse, he turned the ball over on Boston's final possession. That wasn't Superman, that was the opposite. He couldn't have been any less heroic if you ask me. Then came Game 4, the moment that sealed this as one of the most cursed marketing campaigns in NBA history. Tatum tore his Achilles. Just like that, the man cast as Superman was sidelined, and DC had no choice but to immediately pull the commercial, one that was originally supposed to run all the way through the NBA Finals. It was almost like a bad omen. The timing, the collapse, the injury. I guess the Knicks were apparently his kryptonite. Moving on to somebody else that Jason Tatum once dressed up as, let's talk about Season 24, Episode 4 of The Bachelor. This episode aired on January 27th, 2020, which was a pretty bad time for it to be released actually, considering what had just happened the day before.
In ABC's The Bachelor Monday night, Bachelor Peter, who is a pilot, takes candidate Victoria F. for a plane ride. She says, quote, "I'm dying inside, oh my God." That prompted former Phillies and Mets player Lenny Dykstra to tweet, "A bit too soon, The Bachelor?" Oh boy.
Obviously, this was filmed way before Kobe's death, but that didn't stop people from thinking that the show was being a little insensitive.
Appropriate or inappropriate, to me, this was taped a long time ago, and Lenny Dykstra tweeting out it was a nice headline grab, but I don't know, it doesn't seem insensitive, it seems unrelated.
There's always a date in a helicopter or plane. He took a date out, and the Bachelor is a pilot. He took her in a plane last night, and she was afraid of heights. So who doesn't scream things like, "I'm dying, I'm dead," something, Does it have anything to do with Kobe Bryant? No, and it was filmed 6 months ago.
It's pretty unfortunate that this episode had to come out the day after Kobe's tragic accident, and it's also strange because that same girl actually referenced Kobe during the end credit scene.
Kobe!
Again, she said that without having any idea what would transpire the day before this episode would air. The timing of the moment hit viewers really hard. January 26th is going to be a bittersweet day for a lot of people going forward.
Oh, this is my dog. This is Kobe. Kobe was born, unfortunately, on the day Kobe Bryant died. So Jordan and I named her Kobe, and she is an absolute doll and a lover and 5 years old.